Welcome to Greek for a Week. I'm glad that you are with us here for another week as we work through the book of First Peter. So we're ending our study in chapter 4 with this paragraph, chapter 4, verses 12 through 19. And these are the thoughts about suffering from Peter. We'll be looking at verses 12 and 13 this week. The passage breaks down in a unique way. Really, there ought to be several verses packaged together here. But for the sake of this particular video and future videos, we will be looking at just 2 verses each time in order to get through this paragraph. So he begins here, "Beloved, do not be surprised because of the fiery ordeal among you, which takes place upon you for your testing, as something strange is happening to you, but or rather to the degree that you share in the sufferings of Christ, keep on rejoicing, in order that also at the revelation of his glory you may rejoice with exultation." So he begins the paragraph with agapetoi, which is in the vocative, direct address there. So not only in chapter 2, verse 11, but also here in chapter 4, verse 12, you have the vocative being used as a paragraph marker to divide the text. You have your imperative form here, which is second person plural, present middle imperative. And then the may here is your negation. Do not be surprised. Then you have an article here, te. Could be, since that's an article in the dative case, along with the word for fiery ordeal, the pour rose, that could be a dative of cause. Do not be surprised because of the fiery ordeal here. Then you have pros perosman here. So this would be the purpose for the fiery ordeal, and that is to test. Then you have your genomene. So here is your participle, that's present middle participle, feminine dative. It's singular of genomai. I'm suggesting because of the dative case here, it's an attributive participle going back to this dative here because of the fiery ordeal. And so it has a quality or an attribute that takes place upon you. Then in verse 13, here's your point counterpoint. So up here, do not be surprised, but or rather what he's saying to do here is to keep on rejoicing, which is your other imperative, second person plural present active imperative of kairo. So your strong contrast here is found in your conjunction alla. So don't be surprised, rather I want you to keep on rejoicing. Here's your conjunction hina, which will be one for purpose. Then you're going to end here with karete, which you have the lengthened vowel, which gives me a second person plural, aorist middle subjunctive. Whenever that vowel is lengthened here, that tells me subjunctive. It also tells me subjunctive because of the hina that precedes it. Then you have here the final word basically is a participle, present middle participle, masculine nominative plural of Aga liao, and that would be a participle of manner. You could say, how do I rejoice with exultation? Um, so this, again, kind of gets us started where Peter is using the concept that testing's coming. Don't be surprised about it. Rather, in light of that testing, keep on rejoicing. So that's verses 12 and 13. We will look at 14 and 15 next week. Have a great week.